Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. So if you are here to find out why the price of Bitcoin is getting rejection around this 43 to 44,000 range again and again, and also what could happen if this resistance is going to flip into support. If that is exactly what you wanted to hear, then come on, hit that like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now, without wasting any time, let's jump into the content. So in a daily time frame, I'm going to keep it very simple, because if you look at the price structure, by simply adding this Williams alligator indicator, we can see very clearly first, bearish crossover here in Williams alligator indicator, and second, the price is below this Williams alligator indicator. In an uptrend, the price is always above this Williams alligator indicator, and any sort of a price retracement, this Williams alligator indicator acts as a strong line of support. But in our case right now, as you can see, this line is not going to act as a support, but it is going to act as a resistance. So that's why you can see when the price of Bitcoin tried to break out of this 43,500, 43,600 range, we got a strong rejection. Not just only this Williams alligator indicator, but if you simply add this 20 and 50 exponential moving average, first you can see bearish crossover, and second, even if the price of Bitcoin is going to see any sort of impulsive movement, this 20 exponential moving average, which is lying around 44,000, is going to be another strong line of resistance. So now in a daily time frame, we can see the price of Bitcoin is still weak, even though we are seeing this impulsive movement type of scenario playing out for Bitcoin. What you have to take into consideration for this actual trend reversal scenario to play out and price also to break here to the upside, we want this MACD to clearly flash a bullish MACD cross, RSI jump above this 50 level, and also the T3 CCI in a positive territory. If we are going to see this 3 indicator also confirming the price movement, then there is a very high chance that the price is going to break out of this resistance and flip it into support. But as long as we are going to remain below this Williams alligator indicator and also this 50 and 20 exponential moving average, the price of Bitcoin could still see some more weakness and also potential downward price movement. So this is one scenario you have to take into consideration. But if you look at the price structure in a very simple way, just like what we talked about yesterday video, in a daily time frame, you can see by simply adding this Fibonacci retracement line from this swing low till this swing high, and now we are getting another reason why the price of Bitcoin is getting rejection around this 43 to 44,000 range, because this is exactly where this 0.382 Fibonacci retracement line is lying around. So this line is also going to act as a resistance, because the same line you can see in the past Bitcoin price action was acting as a strong line of support. So that's why the price of Bitcoin was finding difficulty to break above this 44,000 price area. And we have to keep this scenario also into consideration, because getting a clear rejection from this 0.382 and price also again seeing another pullback type of scenario, then to the downside, this 41,000 is a must hold line for Bitcoin here in a daily time frame, because the next possible target is lying around 38,000 price area, and we are aware of that. I'm going to show you another reason why we are getting rejection to break out of this 43 to 44,000 price range for Bitcoin. Let me show you here, okay? It's easier to understand. So if you look at the price movement in a very simple way, guys, we can see the price of Bitcoin was finding a resistance from this falling wedge. Falling wedge is looked as a bullish scenario, but in our case, you can see this upper line area is acting as another line of resistance. So what we are expecting is, if we do see a rejection or a pullback type of scenario, maybe we could dip around this 38,000 price range, and after that start this new rally here to the upper direction. So this is one scenario I am actually expecting to play out for Bitcoin here in the upcoming days. But as long as we are going to get rejection from this upper line area, the Williams alligator indicator, right, also this moving averages along with this Fibonacci line, there are going to be more shakeout and also potential price pullback type of scenario before starting or choosing an actual trend direction, guys. And this is one thing you have to take into consideration. But now, if you look at the price structure here in a 4-hour time frame, let me show you this another interesting scenario with the help of CPR indicator. Now you can see, guys, another reason why we should also take this 44,000 as a strong line of resistance, because this is where the bottom CPR is lying around, and this bottom CPR, as you can see, is around 43,900 price area. So that's why if the price of Bitcoin, right, actually breaks out of this 43 to 44,000 price range and finds supports above it, then the next possible target is lying around 45,000 and 46,000 price area. So for that to happen, first we have to break this important line of resistance that I just showed you here in a daily time frame and also now in a 4-hour time frame, guys. And one thing we should also not forget, guys, tomorrow is new month. What does this mean? We are going to see a new CPR being placed for October month. So if the price of Bitcoin is going to remain below this bottom CPR line today, right, and close this monthly, then that will also indicate the next month CPI is going to be lying something like a parallelly, which is also not a clear bullish scenario for Bitcoin. So let's see where the daily candle is going to close today until the day's end. So now let's look at this in a bit different way. And now if you look at this price action Bitcoin again in a 4-hour time frame, guys, what we can simply do is add this one scenario that we talked in my previous video, because in a immediate short term I was also expecting this scenario to happen. I mean, price to see an impulsive movement again towards this top of this symmetrical triangle, which previously acted as a resistance. And now you can see, guys, why we are finding a strong rejection around this 43,000 to 44,000 range. First, the upper line area of this symmetrical triangle. Second, the bottom CPR line. Third, this Fibonacci 0.382 Fibonacci line. Upper line area of this falling wedge, which previously also acted as a resistance. You can see this 20 exponential moving average is acting as a resistance here, and along with that, this Williams alligator indicator also acting as a resistance. So that's why we have very strong resistance around this 43 to 44,000 price range. So, but if the price of Bitcoin does manages to find support above this 44,000 range here, right, then the next possible target, as I've already said, is going to be 45 and 46,000 price area. But if the price of Bitcoin does see this kind of movement until the day's end, this is going to be a very good sign, because the next month CPR could be still an ascending CPR for Bitcoin. So let's hope that the price of Bitcoin somehow manages to come above this 45 to 46,000 range as well. So now if you look at this again here, coming back to this symmetrical triangle, since this symmetrical triangle is being formed in a downtrend like this, right? So this is still considered as a bearish scenario, guys, because according to the bearish symmetrical triangle, you can see where the price, as soon as we break out of this lower line area of the symmetrical triangle, starts breaking it to the downside. So in our case, you can see we are following this pretty similar scenario. So what we don't want is price to see this bigger retracement and also break out of this support from this symmetrical triangle, because breaking out of this support will indicate a clear sign of weakness and also potential downward price movement for Bitcoin. But if we do break this resistance and flip it into support, as I've already said you, right, 45,000 and 46,000 is going to be our next possible target for Bitcoin. So I don't want to add any new scenarios today, because this is exactly what we would talk to my previous video, and also similar scenarios unfolding right now for Bitcoin. So as long as these scenarios are going to play out, we are going to stick with it. So guys, this is it for today. I hope this video was helpful enough. If that's the case, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. Now by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye, guys.